Snoop Dogg once recorded the intro and outro to an obscure experimental art rock album. There's this lovely little meme that shows up every now and again about how Snoop Dogg beat the game and now he's playing the side missions, because he started out making hits at the height of gangsta rap, but now he's also a football coach and a wrestler in two competing promotions and a game show host and Martha Stewart's friend and a cartoon snail and whatnot. Hip-hop just turned 50 years old, and Ice-T recently referred to Snoop as the most famous and recognizable rapper of all time, and that pretty much sums up why my favorite Snoop side mission of all time was one of his collaborations with Brooklyn art collective PFR, pronounced with only one F. PFR started in about 1998. They do a bunch of stuff like art exhibitions, music, short films, performances, but they're best known as a production company responsible for stuff like Wonder Chosen and Xavier Renegade Angel, which Snoop has also guest starred on.
I'm not a pimp per se, but I could get you some per se if you give me that fly-ass coat.
But their first TV show was also Snoop's first TV show, Doggy Fizzle TV, a sketch comedy show from 2003 created by PFR members Vernon Chapman, the voice of Towley.
Oh man,
What?
I'm so high right now. I have no idea what's going on.
And John Lee, director of the final film in the Pee Wee Herman trilogy. Since we're talking about Snoop and the Wonder Chosen people here, you can probably guess it was mostly stoner humor, but even so, there was a level of absurdity that this show occasionally reached that seems ahead of its time now.
Snoop's ice cream truck.
That same year, PFR would put out their third album, United We Doth, and Snoop was the first thing you'd hear on the opening track, Unjackable.
PFR. You are hereby charged with having maximum jams.
And the last thing you'd hear, though his second appearance is on an untitled hidden track.
I hereby find you guilty of being unjackable.
Obviously, Snoop's side missions encompass some weird album features, Darius Rucker, Anna Kendrick, Corey Feldman, but PFR is far and away the most out of left field. PFR is currently working on another comedy collaboration with a West Coast rapper along with Trey Parker and Matt Stone from South Park. They're working on a film project with Kendrick Lamar, who of course also collaborated with Snoop for a track on the neoclassic To Pimp a Butterfly. And as long as I'm talking about Snoop's side quests, we gotta talk about 2002's Fallen Star by LaToya Williams. LaToya Williams is a legendary hook singer in hip-hop and R&B, and she had the lead single on Welcome to the House Volume 1, a compilation album on Snoop's Doggy Style record label. Snoop isn't on the song, but he's one of the backup dancers in this amazing 70s themed music video, and that's it. He's just one of the dancers, and I love this song. That hook. It's too good. Also gotta love how regular these backup dancers look, especially this guy doing the Fred Sanford over here. Fallen Star isn't really on streaming, unfortunately, so unless you own this album, Snoop's dance moves are an integral part of the experience. They did perform the song once on The Tonight Show, and Snoop added a verse that isn't in the album or studio versions.
We Doth, big drum beaters with a car full of heaters. Run up on the Deco Double G and you're bound to get beat up.
But he does it at the top of the song, so he still very much feels like our hype man, which you love to see. It almost reminds me of how Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys is a backup dancer for Bridget Everett.
Hey, that's a bonus side quest.
Since I'm here on the subject of Snoop collaborations, I gotta mention the Nightfall remix of Lavender by Canadian producers Bad Bad Not Good and K-Tronada in 2017. It got some attention for the video, where a Donald Trump-esque clown has a prank flag gun fired at him, and they won't let him hit the blunt afterward. This led to Snoop and director Jesse Wellens being interviewed by the Secret Service. But I think all that got in the way of the lyrics, which dealt with police brutality.
Whatever y'all did, put 2 on it and put a foot on your neck with a shoe on it. Resident Evil. It's all on camera and they still don't believe it.
In my opinion, it's some of Snoop's finest work in the past decade. So that's my video about Snoop Dogg showing up in places and doing things. I know there are a lot of Snoop side missions out there, but I figured I'd stick to music because he's so ubiquitous, it's easy to forget that that's mainly what he does.
He's transcended music, and he passed just like being a rapper or a musician or artist. He's just like a person. Like Snoop is just like something that's synonymous with like American culture. It's like Marilyn Monroe.
And I needed to make a shorter video. These scripts are getting very long.
We want an extra large pizza with cheese all over it. Extra napkins with a 2-liter soda. A Dreamcast with the blue controllers. That's it.